Hey loves, welcome back to my space. If you're new here, thank you so much for dropping by. Don't leave without subscribing. If you are an OG, I see you. So in today's video, we're going to use this we're going to do another DIY. As you can tell, we're going to use these plastic balls at 50 shillings. By the way, I bought them at 50 shillings. So we're going to use these plastic balls. We're going to use this macrame thread, and you can use any other thread, and as long as it's strong. And you're also going to use this blade and scissors. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So these balls I bought at 50 shillings. As you can see, I tried to look for gold, but I couldn't get all of them gold, but at least one is shiner, brighter than the other one. Two are dull and one is shiner. So I'm going to use these, and then I'm going to use the dull ones, top, bottom, and up, and then at the middle I'm going to use the one that is bright. So we're going to start with this macrame. As you can see, it's very, very strong. You can use any other thread. Unaweza tumia ile kamba ya makonge. You can use any thread, any kamba you want, any rope. If you want to use a rope, if you want to use threads, but for me I had this macrame thread, but I'm also going to double it because I need total strength. I need it to be strong because whatever it's going to do after this, it needs to be strong. So I'm going to use this macrame thread in fold, like in double. So what you're going to do is start at the bottom of one of these tubakuli, these two balls. So I'm going to tie a knot, get in that hole and the other and the next one, just to make it strong. So we're going to do this, and we're going to tie a knot at those two holes at the bottom, because this is our base. As you can tell from maybe the thumbnail or something, or the title, even the title, we are making hanging shelves from plastic balls, hanging shelves from these plastic items, and I love the fact that they are cheap. They are very easy, they are very affordable compared to wood. And these are also first things that you need to, they're things like accessible, very easy to access, and it can play a lot of roles. Like you can use it for different things in your house. You can use it to hold your your products. You can use it to hold your nyanyas, your vitungus, whatever you want to do. These shelves can be placed in any place of your house, any part of your house. Like you can use them in the kitchen, use them in the bathroom, use them in your bedroom, wherever you want, and do whatever you want with them. And they are very easy, cheap to make compared to these shelves. So what you're going to do after you have made a knot at the bottom, we're going to also hold it at the top, because as I said, we want to make it as strong as possible, because it depends with whatever you're holding. But again, it still needs to be strong, because it's going to hold something, and it's going to act as a shelf, as a hanging shelf, in fact, because you're not going to place it at a place where it's flat. You're going to hang it somewhere, right? Am I making sense? Yeah. So we're going to make what is it called, another knot there. And when you're working with macrame, be very careful. These macrame ropes, I don't know whether all threads do this, but they tend to shikana, they tend to what is it called, to tangle. They tend to tangle at some point. Zinashikana, you're not expecting it, so you have to be very careful with it, especially if you're working with a very, very long piece of rope. So once you've done with that part, we're going to get into our next piece of these plastic balls. And as you can tell, I'm making a knot, because again, you don't want your second one to go straight to the other one. There must be a distance, and the only way you're going to create that distance is creating a knot at an angle, at the length you want, where you want your next ball to sit. You create that knot, make it as big as possible, because those two holes on this alka ball or this patterned plastic ball are big. So you are making a knot that will not that will not go through or through in those two holes. Yeah, am I making sense? Yeah. So we make a knot. At this point, it all depends with how long you want your shelves to be, your hanging shelves. So if you want them to be far away from each other, maybe you're going to put bottles, so you want a length of those bottles and plus, yeah, depending with what you want to use it for, you're going to make a distance between them. Yeah, as always, you cannot have shelves that is meshkana. Yeah, so that's why we did that knot to create that distance. And you can see adding my second ball, it sat well on that knot. Like, yeah, I just love how it just agreed to sit well. And anyway, so we're going to make another knot, like we're going to strengthen that whatever that piece of with tying a knot again as we did on the first one, and then we're going to transfer to move the rope to the next and the next. This is what we're going to be doing for all the 3 balls. Yeah, we're going to do this for all 3 balls because that's what we want to achieve. We're going to do this until we achieve what we want. Aki want to upload, seriously. Anyway, it's a weekend, so we're going to do this, and once you have achieved what you want, ignore the noises. Aki, they're screaming outside, playing, they're screaming, but I hope you can hear me well. Yeah, so once you've done that, we're going to repeat the same thing we did on the top of this part. Forget about that rope that comes in hapo ndani kana kaka laini. Forget about that, just go on. It won't bother you, it won't mess your DIY or have any impact to your negative impact to your DIY. Hey, DIY, it's just going to strengthen your what, strengthen the hold, the hold of that ball. Yeah, so once you've done with this part, as you can see, they are both gold, but one is a brighter gold compared to the other one. Am I making sense? I must say gold. When I was buying this, they were gold to me, like the color. I know maybe the lighting is not even doing it justice, but it has that golden color on it. The ball has the golden color, so I was really trying to match them, but I didn't need him. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to measure the distance between the first ball and the second one, so that I can have the same distance from the second ball and the third one. Am I making sense? Am I making sense? So also I realized you better don't go long, because the longer you make your thread from the distance, the longer you make it, the weaker the shelf will. So you don't have to make it long or far from each other. You just have to what do I say, just make it make the difference noticeable, but also not long enough. It's quite mrefu tena sana. Am I making sense? So the first one was 12 and I ended up reducing to 11, but because I'm going to make a knot, it ended up being around 10 and something. Yeah, so yeah, we're going to do to attach the second ball. I can tell the third ball. Can you see what I'm doing? I can tell I'm making that knot so that it doesn't go through the holes. Yeah, and it creates a difference between the second ball and the third ball. Hey, I'm talking too fast. Yeah. But anyway, so after doing this, I enjoyed this. This was very simple, very easy to do, very easy. As I've said, you can use any other thread that is strong. You can use any other rope that is strong. You can use wires if you want. You can use wires or cables. Yeah? You can also use cables. Yeah? Anything that you have in your house, and especially charging cables, unasikia uchungu wa kutupa. You can use them to hold your DIY pieces like these ones. Yeah. So don't be limited to to using one thread or whatever. Just go outside your comfort zone, be creative with whatever you have in your house, because as I said, this is a DIY. We're doing it ourselves. Yeah, do it yourself. So we're going to create whatever we see into our own ways. You can see you go see. For me, I saw this on Pinterest, and I was like, wait, you can do this. And the way kwanza zile nini za nyanya, you know those what are they called? Racks za nyanya, hizo maracks za nyanya. Those things are very expensive. If you go buy a rack, it's very expensive. You feel like, we unatoa 100 yako 4-5 hapo, and you're like, wait, what? So I feel like when the video I saw was making a rack, and then I was like, wait, so this is achievable, yeah? And then I was like, I'm going to try with a different set of things. I'm going with whatever I have, because again, you cannot choose what they have. Pinterest, hey, Pinterest, we can agree that Pinterest has a lot of things that are very enticing but very expensive. So I decided to improvise and use what I can access, and that's how we ended up using these balls that I got at 50 shillings in like a local, you know. And these are thread that I've been using for DIYs years over years and years and years. Anyway, so if you have watched to this point and you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please go back, hit that red that red subscription box, yeah? Kindly subscribe. I really appreciate. I'll really appreciate if you take your time and subscribe, because as you have taken your time and watched to this end, I appreciate. I truly appreciate. So at the top, when you're almost done, you leave another sizable, not another thread hanging, and at this point we are going to struggle to make it as strong as we want, because this is the last part of this DIY. Like, you don't need, that's it, you don't need to go to add another one. This was the last one, so we're making it stronger and stronger, and making sure that the thread is left hanging. You don't have to, and then we're going to do it into three other sides, yeah? So we are going to make this because one side cannot hold, we need to have 3 or 4 sides, yeah? So we're going to that one, and then we're going to make the other side, and the other, and the other. You feel me? So we're going to repeat the same process onto other 4 parts, 3 parts of these balls, yeah? The same thing we're doing we have done on the first one, which I've shown you, is the same thing we're going to do on all the 3 remaining parts. This I'm going to do off camera, because I don't want this video to be 100 minutes, yeah? Once you've done, like, you see, I just hung it kwa balcony yangu, and I kept on working and working. So what I'm doing here is reinforcing the thread, the upper thread. So you just twist. That's just reinforcing, yeah? We're going to reinforce. As you can already see, we have four of them, and as you can already see, it's already hanging. Can you see? We already have a rack, like we have a rack or a hanging shelf, plastic hanging shelves, you know, it's already hanging. You don't need all this thread, the whole of this thread, it's too long. But because you're going to attach all the 4 of them into one, you're going to bring them at the center and then make it one, and that's it. We are done. Look at that. As I was saying, it's already done. Don't mind the choice of color for me. Don't mind where I'm hanging it. For the purpose of showing you, I decided to hang it just there, but I'm going to find a corner in my house where I'm going to hang it, in a certain corner. And I'm sure you, like, just say this is the simplest DIY I know, because I now have a storage place, yeah? And I did my products. Look at those products, they look so nice. So what's stopping you from doing this DIY? Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, bye bye. Make sure you try this DIY, make sure you do, yeah? I love you guys, bye bye.